Hey everyone, welcome back. Let's talk about it. Let's get into the Major League Baseball game we have this evening, where we will get into the clincher for this wild card matchup between the New York Mets and the Milwaukee Brewers. Win or go home, that's what we see tonight between two teams that have had really strong kind of finishes to their seasons. And closing out this 2024 campaign, we do look for this little grudge match that we have between the New York Mets and the Milwaukee Brewers to be a good one. We do get kind of a weird and wacky pitching matchup. I'll get into that a little bit later on in this video, but make sure you stick around where I'll give you guys my best bets, and we're going to get kind of weird here with this. We're going to dive into some props that I don't normally bet, but I do see some value in it, so I'm going to share with you guys where I'm at within that, and then we will talk about it, and then I will give you my best bet on the side and total, and as always, guys, I will post before the game what I actually bet in the Discord, so make sure you guys all hop on over there and give me a follow, okay? But these are going to be my best bets. Make sure you all like, comment, and subscribe to this video. Appreciate you tuning in, and let's get it. We also have a Thursday night football game rivaling what's going on here in the major leagues. So it will be kind of a 2 TV night for me, probably you guys as well. So it'll be a fun one. Let's get into it and let's talk some baseball. So we are going to use Outlier for this, one of the best platforms I use for all of my my data compilation. And obviously, if you're not using Outlier, you're not making the best bet possible. Links down below if you want to sign up for a 7-day free trial. Okay, but in this game, we do see this little rubber match. Plus 115 is a number that the Mets are going to be underdogs in this matchup, and I'll tell you guys why that number is warranted. All right, but when Milwaukee comes in this game with the momentum, minus 130 after that Churio blast that we saw, basically tying the game, then all of a sudden, boom, 2-run shot in the 8th, and then next thing you know, the Mets are playing an extra game than they needed to, okay? It would have been nice for the Mets to close this one out. Not only would I have won a pretty nice little substantial wager with the Mets money line that I had, but I also would have allowed for the Mets to start Quintana in the next game where they do get out of the wild card round, okay? But let's talk about it. The over-under is set at 7.5. I do think that these games get a little testy when there's pressure, when there's, win or go home. I do think that lends towards the narrative that we are going to see a lower scoring affair. So I am going to be on the side of the under 7.5. I did take that at plus 100. That's a great value for me. I know that these games have been historically a little higher scoring between these two clubs. If we go back into the season and we talk about the totals and we talk about the matchups between the Mets and the Milwaukee Brewers, this has been an eight game sample size between these two clubs, where we do have a 4-4 record to the total. So half of the games going over, half of them going under. So it is a coin flip. I'm going to go get an edge with the under in this matchup due to it being a win or go home spot. They're going to pull out all the bullpens. They're going to do what they have to do to get out of innings, get out of jams. I don't think this is one where you just chalk it up and let a huge inning occur unless it's just something where there's this unfortunate circumstance. It's just going to be something where you get both clubs' best efforts in a win or go home spot. So I am going to have a play towards the under 7.5. Also, I will be backing the Mets here, plus 115. It's something where we got to talk about the head-to-head a little bit more, all right? And this is because straight up in these 8 games that they've played each other, we have seen the Brewers take it home 6-2 against the Mets on the season. So they are winning 75% of the time, and that's why I believe that they are favorites, not only because they are at home. They don't have the best pitching matchup. We're going to talk about Jose Quintana a little bit as well. But Tobias Myers, a little bit of an edge towards Quintana, a little bit of a fade towards Tobias Myers. We can pull up some of the Tobias Myers game logs here on the MLB, and we talk about kind of what he's been doing from a statistical standpoint. Recently, we look back at the matchup between the Mets, where he did go 4 innings, gave up 1 hit, 5 Ks, and we look at that because that was a regular season matchup. Now, conversely, we can talk about his last few matchups. He doesn't go deep into the games. At best, he's going to give you 6 innings, in my opinion. All right, and that's all you kind of need. You need a quality start, and then let your bullpen do the rest. But for me in this is something where I do see the lower scoring conversation because of Myers pitching, because of Quintana pitching. And this is something where I do see, at least 4 hits for the Mets against Myers. And then we can talk about the handicap about Quintana a little bit deeper because this is a good one, okay? Quintana as of recent, okay, he's really not given up a run, okay? He has 3 starts in September, and in all those 3 starts, and there was one against the Brewers, I believe, it's something where he just really hasn't given up a run. It's kind of fascinating. Jose Quintana, a little bit of a kind of comparison and something where we can talk about what he's doing, and it gives you the kind of that feel where I'm trying to think of the pitcher, and I'm drawing a blank. Let me look it up real quick because I do want to. Johan Santana. It gives you that Johan Santana vibe, a little lefty for the Mets. That, stretch that he was on, it was absolutely dominant seasons he had with New York. It gives you those vibes. And now we get this again against the Brewers in that start in September. He gave up 5 hits, 2 earned, and walked 2, but he had 9 Ks. So very effective. I think that's going to be enough to get the job done. I do like Quintana in this spot. That's why I'm going to be taking the Mets with plus money. Okay, so we will take that plus 115. Best bet available. We are seeing a lot of money flow in on the Brewers. And that's kind of okay. All right, we'll take the plus money. If we lose this bet, we lose this bet. But that's something where we dive into this matchup, and we can see the public betting here. You can see that the public is going to be all majority on the Milwaukee Brewers in the vast majority of the money, 94% on the money line on the Brew Crew. Okay, I do see a little bit of a buyback if you take the Mets here. You do take the spread, but that's something where I'm not going to lay that big number, and I do favor the under as we see the large majority of the money, 47%, conversely to 28% of the bets on the Mets under 7.5. So those would be my best bets. Let's get into some of the props that I'm looking for in this game. And when I talk about props, doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to bet them. However, I do like one in specific in this game, and we are going to target the props here in this spot. And it's something where I'm going to just go right into it. I'm going to show you guys kind of what's going on with my best bets, because my final plays will be under 7.5. New York Mets money line plus 115. But we're also going to get into a parlay where we talk about walks. Now, I'm going to do a half unit on both of these plays. We get them close to plus 200. So it'll be one full unit in these 2 plays, but we will do a Gary Sanchez, Perkins, and Mark Vientos under a half walk, 3-leg parlay plus 192. It's where we're going to take them. Those 3 guys can't walk, and then if they all don't walk, then we do cash that ticket. That gives us extreme value. I don't see this being the case. We look at some of the numbers. They have not basically walked, and I targeted this. I looked in the insights, looked in the game logs, and these 3 players I think are very firm candidates to not walk in the spot. Okay, but we are also going to play for a walk. We're going to take Francisco Lindor over a half walk at plus 200, best number available. Another half unit play for me. And this is kind of where we look at this, and why we're talking about it is because if you watched last night, the Milwaukee Brewers do not want to pitch to Lindor. We saw them in a spot yesterday where they did walk him intentionally, and then they challenged the right to do so. Then they didn't want to walk him, and then they ended up walking him intentionally. So it was kind of a funny little situation where we did stop play for a bit to go down that road. But this is where if Lindor gets somebody on base and there's a base open, I do see the potential where they do intentionally walk him to set up a double play. And just kind of pitching around Lindor, he could get a walk naturally by natural causes and get a 4-pitch free pass. So that's kind of where I'm at. Those are my best bets. Appreciate you guys watching. This will be a fun one to watch. And we do have the Thursday Night Football on as well. I did post a video with my best bets in that game. It will pop up on your screen. So after you get done watching this, make sure you go over there and watch those picks for the matchup between the Buccaneers and the Falcons. So appreciate you guys. Good luck with your picks. Make sure you all like, comment, and subscribe down below. And if you haven't followed me on X, make sure you do so. The handle is in the bottom left. Appreciate it. We'll see you guys all in the next video. Good luck with your picks.